Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Switzerland. Jan Sommer, Bomber, Sommer, Bomber, Drummer, Hummer, Donald Glover, Plumber, Stunner, Roadrunner, Mother, Brother, Rubber, Blubber, Butter, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Haiti. Wyclef Jean, John, LeBron, The Don, Swan, Genghis Khan, Pecan, Obi-Wan, Xbox Juan, Theovan, Fan, Ilan, Pan, Zidane, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Scotland. Darren Hickey, Quickie, Wiki, Tricky, Icky, Ricky, Lil Dicky, Vicky, Mickey, Sticky, Ticky, Licky Licky, with the Wiki, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Turkey. Yildiz, Rez, Gliz, Frizz, Fizz, Blizz, Cheese Whiz, Whiz, Drizz, Twiz, and of course, Papa Quiz. Which city in Turkey spans across 2 continents? Is it A? Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Australia. Tim Cahill, Will, Chill, Dr. Phil, Dark Elixir Drill, Dill, Ill, NyQuil, 5-0, Jack and Jill, Pill, She Will, Windmill, James McGill. And still. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Paraguay. Chilavert, Lauzivert, Introvert, Extrovert, Yogurt, Squirt, Dessert, Desert, Skirt, Yurt, Kurt, Hurt, Bert, Flirt, and of course, Invert. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Curacao. Dick Advocate, Climate, Dog Shit, Syndicate, Fitbit, It's Lit, Deficit, Counterfeit, Skit, Brad Pitt, Zit, Jit, Egglet, Kermit, and of course... Sit. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Ecuador. Moises Caicedo, Tornado, Alfredo, Tomato, Potato, Play-Doh, Dough. I forgot about Arrow, Taekwondo, Lando, Fernando, Nintendo, Dero, and of course...
Muchas gracias, afición. Este para vosotros.
Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Ivory Coast. Didier Drogba, Pogba, Ba, Mobamba, Black Mamba, Jamba, Jabba, Shabba, Alibaba, Demba Ba, Ay Caramba, Habababa, Boba, Boba, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Tunisia. Al Assad, father of Assad, Saad, Six God, Cod, Nod, Riyadh, General Zad, Tripod, Todd, Claude, Hot Rod, A-Rod, Fishing Rod, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Sweden. Alexander Isak, Asak, The Rock, Barack, Arak, Sherlock, Block, Doc, Spock, Tick-Tock, Hawak, Tupac, Peacock, Tony Hawk, and of course... Who is it? Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for New Zealand. Chris Wood, Hollywood, Bollywood, Firewood, Tiger of Wood, Backwood, Clint Eastwood, Pecker of Wood, Knock on Wood, Redwood, Glenwood, Woodwood, Romanat Wood, Brain Rot Wood, and of course... How much a wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Saudi Arabia. Muhammad Al-Wise, Al-Pennywise, Al Sunrise, Al Pacino, Al My Eyes, Al Horford. Welcome to Al the Five Guys.
Yeah, can I get a burger and Al fries?
Sure, would you like the Al Supersize?
No, but I'll get a couple Al cream pies.
Al Eyes, Al Yankovic, Al Disguise, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Uruguay. Ronald Araujo, blow, free throw, hobo, Fabrizio Romano, soprano, Coppa Joe, Edgar Allan Poe, Mo.
Yeah, I'm looking for Miss O Problem, first name B.
Jack Sparrow, Acro, Slowbro, Pluto, Guido, and of course...
Ready, Primo?
Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Cape Verde. Vozinha, Rafinha, Hurricane Katrina, Georgina, Alina, Angelina, Salina, Sabrina, Filipina, Cantina, Tina, Latina, Martina, Christina, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Cape Verde. Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Senegal. Iliman NDI, AI, Bill Nye, Kai, Spotify, bye. I believe I can fly because I got high, sigh. Jedi, Family Guy, 4th of July, American Pie, Don't Die, Pad Thai, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Iran. Hossein Hosseini, Fellaini, Vaini, Katie, Tom Brady, Sadie, Mercedes, Slim Shady.
May I have your attention, please?
Call Me Maybe, Lil Baby, David Blaney, Devin Haney, 12 Grainy, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Algeria. Ryan Nuri, Tandoori, Briburi, Blurry, Murray, Curry, Mercury, Marie Curry, don't worry. Mike Fury, Furry, McFlurry, Jimmy Cherry, Perjury, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Jordan. Mohamed Abu Zraik, Jake, Karim Sheikh, Blake, Take, Undertake, Non-Opaque, Snake, Drake.
Damn, where she at? Yeah, where she at?
Awake, a rake, have a break, cake, pancake, and of course...
Alerta sísmica.
Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Austria. Conrad Leimer, a minor, a whiner, a recliner, designer, minor, 49er, cyber, rhymer, dimer, grimer, heimer, climber, Optimus Primer, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Dr. Congo, Matthew Apollo, Marco Polo, Yolo, Cholo, Coca-Cola, Piccolo, Joe Bartolo, Shattigat, Rolo, N'Golo, Aholo, Han Solo, Solodolo, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Uzbekistan. Kusanov, Smirnov, 5 Nilov, Makarov, Improv, Kucherov, Golden Glove, Nurmagomedov, Morning Dove, Yuav, Suave, David Hasselhoff, Ov, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Ghana. Sulimana, Meredana, Riguana, Hannah Montana, Moana, Lana, Nirvana, Ariana, Rihanna, Tropicana, Aparana, Indiana, Solana, Asana, and of course... Hello everyone, is a World Cup lineup for Panama. Queresquilla, Aquila, Tequila, Chinchilla, Camilla, Vanilla, Ben Stilla, Skrilla, Thrilla, Avila, Savila, Agarilla versus Godzilla, Mozilla, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup. Hey bud, here's your lineup for Canada, eh? Davies, ladies, secret babies, Mercedes, daisies, rabies, MJ in the 80s, Katie's, the Brady's, Hades, old navies, Slim Shadys, caller maybes, and your coach, D's. What a beauty that guy is. South Africa, Nelson Mandela, Nutella, mozzarella. Hello everyone, here's your World. Hey bud, here's your lineup for Canada, eh? Davy, Salmonella, Umbrella, Nutella, mozzarella, Coachella, Bella, Patella, Stella, Umbrella, Tarantella, Cinderella, Salmonella, Big Fella, Carmella, Favela, and of course, Mandela Effect. Hey, hello everyone, here's your World Cup lineup for Brazil. Neymar, Cesar, Kendrick Lamar, Rockstar, 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 Jaguar, Caviar, Guitar, Pixar, Scar, Avatar, Chimichar, Crossy Bar, Fastacar, Patar, Spongegar, Tartar, Jar Jar, and of course, Coach VAR versus Japan, Taniguchi, Tamagotchi, President Shi, Ratatouille, the Curry,
Like the money just grew up.
Tree,
Like the money just came in for
Free.
real.
EE, Didi, Otani, Master Yi, Rupi, EEE, and of course, Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Paraguay. Chilavert, Lauzivert, Introvert, Vert, Flirt versus Germany. Tony Cruz, Tom Cruise, Deadly Cruz, Terry Crews, Blues Clues, Fake News, Muse, Fuse, Snooze, Booze, Fuse, Moose, Goose, Juice, Caboose, Zeus, Spruce, and Dr. Seuss. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Holland. Virgil van Dijk, Dyke, Reebok or Nike, Bike, Trike, Pike, Hitchhike, Psych, Fike, Not Alike, Mike, Mike and Ike, Vike, Counter-Strike, Spike, and of course, Coach Alive versus Morocco, Hakimi, Habibi, Sydney Sweeney, Squeegee, Luigi, PG, Gigi, Fiji, Didi, Kiwi, Sashimi, Healy, Zizi, Mitsubishi, Airbnb, Supreme Tea, Open 3D, and Flat Screen TV. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Ivory Coast. Didier Drogba, Pogba, Ba, Mobamba, Boba, is Norway, Holland, Unplanned, Moonaland, Land, Fernand, Brand, Left Hand, Right Hand,
You my right hand.
Strand, Spray Tanned, Bland, Band, Rubber Band, and of course, my band. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Ecuador. Moises Caicedo, Tornetendo, Dero, and of course,
Muchas gracias, afición. Este es para vosotros.
versus Mexico. Ochoa, Fiona, Noah, Boa, Balboa, Oklahoma, Chroma, Baby Yoda, Reola, Carola, Controla, Coca-Cola, Doja, Morola, Coriola, Gorgonzola, Ebola, Trippi Troppi Trippa Troppa. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for France. Mbappe, JJ, A, Kanye, Dr. Dre, Gay, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Tate McRae, Nene, Chalamet, Aunt May, JFK, OJ, Pelle, Kante, and also Souffle, Sorbet, Frappe, Shea, Day to Day, Treyway, That Way, Subway, Way, Array, Chevrolet, Giraffa, Silestre, and of course, Coach Jose. Versus Sweden, Alexander Isak, Asak, The Rock, Barack, Arak, Sherlock. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Dr. Congo. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for USA. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup because I got high. I believe I can fly. Versus Belgium. Courtois, Astra, Hoopla, Ja, Wa, Lukasha, Itzara, Pa, Pizza, Zaza, Shawarma, Outla, Yeehaw, Abba, Dora, Chihuahua, Wembenyama, and Feliz Navidad. Hello everyone, this is a World Cup lineup for USA. Alex Freeman, Morgan Freeman, Jackie Chan, Terry Dan, Nidoran, Peter Pan, Frying Pan, Van, Toucan, Tarzan, Lil Zan, Ann, Iceman, Spider-Man, Slenderman, Pac-Man, Esteban, Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez. Versus Bosnia, Jekko, Gecko, Echo, Narco, Psycho, Tuco, Coco, Taco, Chaco, Chocolate, Casco, Disco, Tobacco, Franco, Bronco, and of course, Monaco. Hello everyone, it's a World Cup lineup for Croatia. Modric, Nintendo Switch, Lilo and Stitch, Twitch, Doncic, Marshall Ditic, Jokic, Princess Pitch, Djokovic, Snitch, Ibrahimovic, Popovic, Sandovic, Guidic, Bayern Munich, Ostrich, son of a bitch. Oh, and now we have a glitch. Versus Portugal, Ronaldo, Waldo, Aldo, Donaldo, McDonaldo, Leonardo, Gelato, Pizarro, Avocado, Cosmo, Desperado, Alejandro, Armaldo, Alonso, Pasago, Lanmo, Carto, Hotel, Trivago. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Algeria. Ryan Nuri, Tandoori, Briburi, Blurry, Murray, Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Austria. Designer, Minor, Dimer, Grimer. Versus Spain, Lamine Yamal, Phone Call, Trump's Wall, Taj Mahal, Jamal, Nadal, Michael, Alcohol, Paul Mall, Tylenol, Install, Fireball, Sol, Darth Maul, Curtain Call, Shawnee Paul, Pitty Ball, and of course, Coach Seagull. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for us. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Cape Verde. Vozi. Versus Argentina, Messi, ancora Messi, Jesse, Nessie, Pepsi, Zesti, Investi, Sesame, Recipe, Bumblebee, Centrosi, Grand Prix, DVD, PS3, Nintendo Wii, and your coach, Jobby. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Australia. Drill, she will. Sala, Masala, Inshallah, Kamala, Impala, Koala, Nala, Met Gala, Luna Bala, Lunala, Valhalla, Musiala, T'Challa, Tralala, and of course... Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Ghana, Rihanna, Indiana. Versus Colombia, James, Pez, Tadrez, Suarez, Fez, Sergio Perez, Menendez, Simon Says, Thumbs Up, Hermes, Bench Press, NES, Express, AliExpress, Guess, Jess, Recess, Tesla Model S, Thumbs Down. Oh, you're out. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Morocco, Hakimi, Habib. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Brazil, Neymar, Crossy. Versus Norway, Haaland. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for England, Harry Kane, Mediterranean, Zidane, Kane, Sugar Cane, and of course, Fiona, Noah. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Spain. Lamine Yamal. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup. Hello everyone, hello everyone, here's a. Hello everyone, here's the news for July 5th. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for England. Harry Kane. Hello everyone, here's a World Cup lineup for Spain. Lamine. Hello everyone, here's the news for July. Hello everyone, here's the news for July 7th. Hello everyone, here's the news. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever World Cup half-time show. So we have a 67-year-old Madonna lip-syncing a song I've never heard in my entire life. You know, Daniele, I think this song's older than you. And she's in a dune buggy with Ronaldinho and R9, who just can't stop smiling. He's making me nervous. Something must be wrong with him. Alright, let's move on. We got some Seven Nation Army. That's what I like to hear. Okay. You know, I feel like I'm shopping in H&M right now. Surely the Biebs can salvage this one, right? A bit slow pace for the World Cup, but no. Here we go, Shakira. She should have been performing this whole time. Okay, everybody, see you in 2030, huh? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever. Hello, everyone. Here's F1 Cristiano. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.